This review is definitely a request. It's a request for two movies that's been given to me back in November, maybe October. But anyway, I finally got around to it. And that review is Kill Bill Volume 1 and Volume 2. I finally just watched Kill Bill Volume 1, and this is gonna be my movie review of it on this episode Movie Breakdowns. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. With Movie Breakdowns, movie review series, we look at new and old movies, give them a grade A through F, plus and minus do count. And if you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to as best I can. Also, Patreon/Ali Zakka for $2 a month. You get a cut in front of everybody, get your review out before it gets on Facebook and YouTube, get to see it way before everybody else, and you know what? You also get trailer reaction, trailer reviews, much more content on my Patreon. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's review of 2003's Kill Bill, Volume 1 by Quentin Tarantino. And what is this movie about? This movie is about a bride who was brutally murdered and survives. And she wakes up from a 4-year coma and pretty much goes off on a death list or a death strike against the people who murdered her. It's a revenge story, including her husband or her fiance, who also was part of the group that killed her. It's pretty much a basic, simple storyline. The things that I liked, or my first thoughts, was that I feel like Quentin Tarantino really was just like, I just want to make a martial arts movie and I just want to do whatever I wanted to do in it. Heck, we're going to have a 10 to 15, 20 minute episode or anime in the middle of this movie. By the way, this movie is an hour and 51 minutes long. It is rated R, so heads up on that. But there is a part of the movie where Quentin Tarantino does like a whole anime background of one character, which I've seen that done in movies before, where instead of just showing like a live action version of what the person's background is, they actually do like a drawing or a sketch. No big deal. And they do this to introduce a character and give you the background on the character, but then it lingers too long to me. It really did. Like, for a moment I was like, it's neat to have Projection IG work on this, but they're still going. What's going on with this movie? This movie is a pretty cool movie. I enjoyed the movie. I like the visual effects. I like the visual effects, yes, but more of the stunts. It was actual stunts, live action stunts. Like, it reminded me much of a martial arts movies from the 80s and 90s and 70s, where like the cast is doing the actual stunts and doing all the different things, and wasn't that much CGI in the movie. It was pretty cool. And then some of the fighting scenes, how like the background, was one room where Thurman's character, the bride, is fighting, and this room turns to blue lighting, and she's fighting with the samurai swords and the blue lighting, and it's pretty cool. And also like the kind of changing in all the special effects that Quentin Tarantino did. Like, there's a scene where it goes from complete live color to black and white for a good, like, feels like 3 to 5 minutes, and maybe a little bit longer. Like, it's directed and done pretty well. Like, action set pieces, all of this is really nice. And the story is a very simple story. It is really simple. You can get behind the main character, and for the most part, I just felt like it was a good movie. It was just a good movie. Like, nothing super over the top impressive, but at the time of 2003, I think this movie actually probably was one of the rare movies that's done this before on this such a grand level. Now you see it all the time, you're like, okay, yeah, cool. Like, I watched it, I enjoyed it. I did not dislike this movie. I just felt like certain things lingered too long. For example, the anime scene, I felt like that's what probably my one dislike, that it just lingered a lot longer. But also, this is a part 1, it's volume 1, it's a setup on for a character of a revenge story. So this is not the conclusion, it's just the beginning. And for a beginning, this is a good way to introduce that. And you also give you expositions on background of certain characters. Like, within this movie, she knocks out 2 of the people that killed her, 2 of the 4 that killed her, took her out. But like, it starts off with the opening scene of her death, and then you wake up and she at somebody's house and she's fighting this woman who you're like, wait a minute, who I guess is one of the people that was after her, and they kind of knew each other. So there was a moment where this kid comes to the room and they stop fighting, and you can hear them talking exposition and like, we won't continue this fight because you gotta die. And then, you know, the lady makes a dumb move and Uma Thurman kills the character, but it was like, it was good action, kept you on your toes, but then like when the downtime happened, it gave good exposition that kind of revealed what's going on in the story, that you can go along this person's revenge tour and kind of like see why they're doing the things they're doing. Now, I did only watch this movie one time, and there's a part of the movie that threw me off. I know she fights Vivian A. Fox character in the beginning of the movie, and I probably need to go back and rewatch it again. It's probably explains itself, but it looked like it went to a flashback, and for the majority of the movie was a flashback of her waking up in the hospital, her getting her legs back together, and then her going from waking up in the hospital, getting her legs to work again, and then going straight to Japan to find Lucy Liu's character. I think, to me, I feel like all that was a flashback in the movie, and you know, it gave you backstory and everything, but I don't think that was present day Uma Thurman. I probably missed it. It probably was present day Uma Thurman, or I actually have it right that the movie did go straight to a flashback right after she fights Vivian A. Fox character, and the majority of the movie is a flashback to build up to the second sequel. So I like this movie. I thought it was solid. The anime thing really took me out of it, but for an hour and 51 minutes, I felt like the pacing wasn't off. Another thing that did throw me off was this guy, Hattori Hanzo, Hattori Hanzo is a legendary ninja. And actually, let me actually look that up real quick, because in the video game Samurai Warriors, he's a ninja. And if I remember correctly, he is a legendary ninja in Japan, but let me get his actual background real quick. Yeah, so I was right. Hattori Hanzo is a ninja who served Tokugawa during the Sengoku era, and he also famous for as a samurai. He's credited as a samurai and credited as saving Tokugawa's life. So Tokugawa Ieyasu's life. So that's okay. So he is considered a ninja. Okay, so that's the real life Hattori Hanzo, but the movie had a Hattori Hanzo, and I wasn't sure was the Hattori Hanzo in the movie based off of the real life Hattori Hanzo, or just a guy who was named Hattori Hanzo because Quentin Tarantino just wanted to name that guy Hattori Hanzo, who gave up fighting, who gave up using swords, and decided to make one sword for the bride to go after his pupil, who was Bill, who I guess pretty much went astray. We don't know the background much of Bill. We learn more about that in Volume 2. But when I saw that, it kept throwing me off. I was like, is this Hattori Hanzo? And did she know Hattori Hanzo beforehand? Or did she not? And she just appeared there because she knew where to find him. I don't know. The movie didn't give you a backstory on that, but the movie's not really a big storyline movie. It's really just based on like the action and the special effects and the stunts and the simple storyline of a woman going after her husband who tried to kill her and all the people who were associating in her murder. So yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. And I think the visual and facial effects was pretty solid too. Like it was good. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the box office of this movie, because this movie's been out since 2003, so we can actually get that detail and that information. So the budget of this movie is estimated to be $30 million, and it grossed worldwide $180 million plus. So this movie did a great job, got a good job of Quentin Tarantino. And the cast here, so we had Uma Thurman as the bride. Uma Thurman, she did good. She was solid as a character who was kicking butt, taking names, and being like, hey, I need my revenge. This happened to me. I'm not playing around anymore. Let's do this. Like, she was a serious character. You knew her motivation. There was no questioning her. Somebody you don't want to mess around with. So, good for Uma Thurman. You had Lucy Liu, who played Oren, Ishii. Lucy Liu was solid in this movie too. I didn't feel like her character, I didn't feel like she was over the top. I didn't feel like she was faking it. I felt like Lucy Liu made Oren a terrifying person. She was directed to be terrifying. Solid. Lucy Liu does great for this character. And come to fighting scenes, it was also done really, really well too. You had, I'm gonna mess her name up, I'm sorry, Chiaki Kuriyama, who played Gogo. I thought she was menacing too. Like, she was, I believe, 17, 18, like a young person who was a pure killer. And when they built her up in the movie, you're like, oh man, this lady's gonna be threatening. And she was. Like, she gave Uma Thurman some hands in the movie. But I thought she did good. Vivica A. Fox, who plays Vernita Green. I thought she did a good job, like, from the action sequences. And I don't know if it was actually them or the stunt people doing the action, like there's stunt people as well. But I think it was great though. I think the stunt actors and the actual actors and actresses themselves did a good job portraying the action well enough and making it more like a kung fu movie. And you can see different styles. I will talk about this a little bit later, but as far as the cast, I think those are really the main people that are in this movie. And I'm gonna go ahead and got Sonny Chiba, who played Hattori Hanzo. I thought he was fine. He seemed like a cool dude who was kind of like talking with Uma, and then he went and give his backstory. I thought he did a good job, but those are really the main people. Everybody else is kind of like there. And I'm not going to talk about Bill yet because he hasn't really been shown on screen and actually revealed. Like, you see parts of him, but you really don't know who he is. He doesn't really have that much of a presence, besides just being like somebody's the main goal that the bride is after. So I'll talk about the actor in the next movie for him. But yeah, I think that's the main cast of the movie that I really wanted to focus on. Everybody else was kind of there, or had bits and pieces. And other things that, any last thoughts here I want to talk about. I do like the music choices in the movie. Like, there's different sounds and tunes you hear throughout the movie. Some of it that's actually been in like pop culture a lot thanks to this movie. And this movie visual effects and the stunt work in this movie is top tier. Like, it's some good stuff. Like, I was watching it and felt like I was watching a kung fu flick at certain scenes. And there's other scenes where I felt like I'm watching a modern day action movie where people are fighting each other, throwing each other over tables and stuff like that. Kind of like a John Wick movie. And then you go to the old, like the final conclusion fight, which felt like a more martial arts from the 1980s and 70s movies. So it's some solid work there. It's really just a fine movie. I really felt like it was fine. Is Kill Bill a movie you should watch? Yeah, definitely check out Kill Bill Volume 1. In great time. I'm going to grade Kill Bill Volume 1 a solid B. It's a B for me. That's 85%, which IMDb gives it 8.1, and then Rotten Tomatoes get it 85%. So, and this, I didn't even see the grades before doing this review. I saw it as I'm like looking at it right here. But yeah, no, 85%. It is a B. Like, it's a good movie, a good opening movie, a good way to introduce you into this world, introduce you into this person's plight, and taking on a journey of revenge with a character that you don't know how it's going to end. Like, it's solid. It's a solid movie, a good watch, but it's rated R, so just be a heads up, don't watch it with kids. But other than that, a B. If you've seen Kill Bill Volume 1, what'd you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.